What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm so freaking excited for this video. But before we get to that, if you guys haven't already got entered in to win our 2022 CRF 110 giveaway, make sure you head over to workforapparel.com. Every $5 you spent gets you one entry to win. They are super fun dirt bikes, pit bikes, whatever you want to call them. We have a blast with them and we want to give one to you guys. So head over to workforapparel.com and get entered. Now that we got that out of the way, check out what I get to play with today. A freaking Jaws of Life. Now, it's not every day that you see something this cool and actually get to use it. You guys know I'm a big fan of tools. I'm in construction. We do a lot of automotive stuff and we are constantly acquiring and playing with new types of tools. Well, I've never been able to get my hands on the Jaws of Life. I don't know what the correct term for them is. Hydraulic cutters, hydraulic cutter spreader, but more commonly known as the Jaws of Life. So I'm lucky enough to be able to get to play with this one today and shoot some content with you guys and see what we can do and what we can cut up. I was playing with it a little bit yesterday and like the power of this thing is freaking insane, but I've never actually used it into some real world stuff. So luckily, out behind Rhino Block and Brick over there, you can see we have all this pallet of block. Right on the other side of that is an old junk truck that Dedic left here that he took the engine out of and put it into his K20. Well, I've had to stare at that pile of junk forever. That's why I hid it behind the pallet of block. But I think this is the one time I'm grateful it's here because we get to try out the Jaws of Life cutting that truck up. So this here is, was a Silverado that we removed the engine out of for Dedic's truck. Dedic ended up selling the construction bed that was on it. Some guy with a truck it didn't even fit on. At some point, I think the cartel came through and threw a bunch of rocks at this thing, and well, clearly she has seen better days. And if you were inside this thing, you'd be pretty trapped. So it's a good thing we got a tool to get you out. And it's looking like we got a lot of really cool stuff to try to cut today. I mean, this thing is solid. Look at this. What do we got? Some freaking 1/4-inch flat bar. Might even be a little bit thicker than that. We're gonna put this thing to the test. This is gonna be awesome. I forgot how much we mangled this truck though. And then maybe we cut up a boat. I don't know. Let's see all the cool stuff this thing can cut. So, get her assembled here. We've got plenty of hydraulic hose. And you can connect multiples of these if you need it. Obviously, the more you have, you lose a little bit of pressure because you don't exactly have a giant pump there. Let's get this untangled, get our lines connected, pop out this little plug. There we go. I gotta say, these quick connects are very nice. Now we fire up our engine. I don't believe there's a throttle on these, or if they do, they pin it, but I couldn't get it to move. So we'll turn our fuel on, choke on, engine on. Oh, it's not going to be that exciting when you see it operate for the first time, but wait till you see the power. So on here we've got two controls. We've got open and close. You just twist this handle whichever way you want. There's open and there's close. Now the cool thing about this one is you can wedge this in there, and this is also a spreader. So you can open it and you can spread open like doors or whatever you may need. But I love how portable this is. Like this weighs barely anything. I'm gonna set it up here so we don't have hot exhaust starting a fire. Let's do a little test cut on this hood. Look at the power. Just like it's nothing. The gnarliest pair of scissors you're ever gonna own right there. Now I haven't really tried out the spreading abilities here, but let's see if we wedge it in right there and we spread this door open. Dude, this is insane. The amount of power, like it's gonna rip this door right off. Look at that. Look at that. So cool. Let's cut through 2 layers here. See what happens. Look at that. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. See if we can get in there and spread it. Oh my God, this thing is so cool. So James needs the rear end off this truck. I don't think this is the tool to cut that off. I thought about it, but I don't think this is the right tool for that. However, we can keep sticking it in holes and spreading it. Cut through this flat bar. This stuff is super thick. Oh. Look at that. Look at that. That's nuts. These things are freaking beastly. Now, I'm no stranger to hydraulic cutters. We use hydraulic rebar cutters all the time when we're doing concrete and block work and footings and all that. And one of our hydraulic rebar cutters is about this big. And that thing will cut, I believe, all the way up to 7/8 inch thick rebar. It might actually go all the way to 1 inch. I don't really remember. Our bigger one will do 1 inch, inch and an eighth and all that, but the power of hydraulics is freaking impressive. Now, I wonder if we can cut this, what is that, 2 by 3 inch? It's at least 1/8 inch thick. I don't know about this one. This one might prove a little tough. Might have maxed her out here. I feel like we need a little regroup. Now at this point, we're doubling it up and squishing it all together. Oh, after a little regroup, she's going, she's going, she's going. Ah! Yeah, look at that. Smooshed it together and then snipped it. This thing's so freaking impressive. I am pretty curious as to what happens if you try to cut through a tire. Now, this one obviously is popped already, so it's not like I'm gonna explode this tire in my face, but let's see what happens if you cut a tire. I can hear it cut through all the steel bands, but it might be a little too rubbery here, but maybe not. Sometimes it just takes a second bite. I mean, it's through. It's through, it's just getting a little bound up in the middle right there, but I bet if we spend enough time on it, we cut a tire off, no problem. Let's do a little spreading action on these wheels. Wheels are kind of strong. I also don't want that exploding in my face. Let's see what we got here. This is plastic. Oh, no. Never mind, it's not plastic. But it cuts like plastic. Let's see if we can fully blow this door off the hinges. The bottom one's pretty much already popped. Let's see if we can pop the top one here. Oh, bad bite, hold on. Listen, if any of you guys ever hang out with me, something bad happens and you're in your car, just know I can get you out in about 32 seconds. That's including the time to, you know, set the thing up. So we've been running it for about 10 minutes here, and I will say, she gets pretty toasty right here where that hot hydraulic fluid's coming in and out of the handle. They do have this big plastic piece which kind of helps a little bit, but your hand really rests on that metal ring right there, and that thing gets hot. So I'm gonna put some gloves on if we're gonna keep playing with this thing, because I don't feel like burning my hands today. However, that is impressive. I mean, for such a small power pack, and honestly, these are getting retired because they're going the way of battery powered now. So these are kind of antiquated. And while I can see how battery would be even more convenient, I mean, this small of a package is pretty dang convenient as is. Now, y'all may remember when we had the Korean General out here, AKA our orange Hyundai, that we jumped and then eventually ended up cutting the roof off of. Well, we struggled with sawzalls, grinders, and all kinds of crap to cut the roof off of that car. And well, I imagine we could have done it in less than a minute had we had the old Jaws of Life out here. So I'm gonna see if we can cut through both of these B pillars here. Don't worry, we'll get you out. We're coming. Hold on. Somebody put a door in the way, but I'll move it. Hold on, the door keeps going back. We're gonna cut you out, don't worry. It's a Chevy, they're a little stronger than most. So I'm doing this in real time for you guys here. You see, you kinda gotta reposition because you only have the cutting edge to about there. So you have a solid 2.5 inches of no cutting edge. So even if you can get a full bite, you're only cutting to there versus there. And then you kinda gotta work your way in. I wonder if I can pie cut this out and give me a better angle. we go. A little better angle there. Oh, are we off? We gotta be close. Oh, we're close. We're close. We got this, guys. I think we actually are off. Let's do one more snip, you know, just for good measure. Look at that. And from there, well, I guess we could put our spreader in there. Let's do that. I don't want to stand on that. That's how you fall. Let's spread this roof off. There we go. There we go. Nice. You know, really, one more cut, a couple of strong men and a Dalmatian, and we have this guy out. Now, I'm genuinely curious as to how well this thing cuts other stuff. We know it cuts through sheet metal, no problem, cold rolled steel. We should get a block of billet, albeit that would be expensive, but we should see if it'll cut through that. But sometimes things that are meant for one thing and do it really good and have an incredible amount of force and power suck at other things, but we don't know till I try. So let's see what happens if we cut through a 2x4. Like, is this thing gonna be a beast when it comes to metal, but suck at wood and just mush it? I don't know. We'll just kind of wedge this in there. Yep, you hold that for me. All right, it's probably a little better at that angle. There we go, right there. All right, let's see what happens, guys. It actually didn't do that bad. It's not the cleanest cut, but it's kind of clean and straight. Take a look at that. If I had gotten the jaws all the way to the end here, we'd have had a pretty freaking straight cut. Might just need to keep this around for job sites. That looks better than some of the contractors I've seen out there's cuts. Well, we missed our full bite a little bit there. All right, that's probably one of the messier ones. I just had the camera off a second ago and I cut that, which is pretty freaking impressive for a tool that just smushes things. See what happens if we cut these tie rod ends off. We're not using these anyway. Woo! There we go. I'm not gonna cut the sway bar. Don't feel like anything weird happened in there. I wanna spread some more stuff. Look at a hole. I'm gonna stick this thing in random holes and spread it. I feel like that's the most impressive thing about this, just watching it rip stuff apart and spread it. Insane, absolutely insane. Look at that. So we cut a 2x4, see what happens to this piece of 4x4 right here. I'm feeling this is gonna be a little tougher. Make sure there's no snakes. No snakes. This is a very expensive cut, guys. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share these videos with your friends so I can afford another chunk of 4x4 for a future video. I mean, these jaws open really wide, but I have a feeling things are gonna get weird here. So if it had teeth that went all the way to the end, it would absolutely, no doubt, slice through that no problem. I mean, it almost got through it with having a freaking blade, you know, what is that, an inch wide there. It almost just smushed its way through. Gotta watch your eyes on this booger. This tool is so freaking impressive, guys. Like, seriously, I think this might have to become an integral part of Rhino Ranch. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys think of anything cool that we should try to cut with these, and as long as I still got them around, it might be pretty cool to do like a whole cut series, or maybe we just do a cut channel, cutting stuff up with the Jaws of Life with your host, Rhino. But in reality, I do enjoy getting to go hands-on with stuff like this. It's stuff that you see first responders work with every day, but it's not something you ever get to really see the true power of, see how hard the work is of getting a roof cut off, especially in like a crazy panic situation. There's somebody in there hurt, there's somebody in there dying, there's people all around you, and it's just like you have to focus. I mean, I'm eternally grateful every single day for the men and women of law enforcement, first responders that suit up every day and like voluntarily go to scenes like this. They have to look at the absolute gruesomest of stuff and put that aside because they have a job to do. I know it's something I personally could not do, so I'm very thankful for those that do. If you guys know, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, I was hit by a drunk driver, I don't even know how many years ago at this point, 6 years ago. And I'm very thankful for all the first responders that showed up that day. Thankfully, I was able to climb out of my vehicle and didn't need to get cut out. I can't say the same for the guys that hit me, but the first responders that I ran into that day were the absolute nicest, kept me calm, and just made me feel much safer than I probably should have felt in a situation like that. So if you are a first responder and you're watching this, thank you. Thank you for choosing to do what you do and doing your best to keep us safe and or dealing with us on most people's worst days of their life is your everyday job. Now, let's get this thing put away here. Well, we should fire it up. We'll get the jaw closed. I wish I had more time to play with this today and cut more stuff. And I hope we have a future video where we can. I hope this again becomes a part of the ranch. And whoever designed these quick disconnects, like I said, I deal with like the heavy equipment side of the world where quick disconnects suck. These things are an absolute joy. Like you just twist, unlock, super, super easy. There's no fighting you. There's no weird buildup of hydraulic pressure. I understand there's a much smaller hydraulic pump here than is on like a skid steer or an excavator, but whatever they did with these boogers, they did right. We'll set you up here. And it's cool how like literally you can separate the long hose, so it's 3 separate pieces. I mean, this thing itself probably weighs, I don't know, 35, 40 pounds. You're probably 80 there, so under 120 pounds, maybe that's a little bit more, I don't know, but under 120 pounds, you've got the absolute most badass cutting machine recovery tool you can have. Don't mind my super sweet ring light, you know, it's filming some TikToks because we're manly. Now, I know today's video was super short, but I really wanted to just get footage of that thing. I had the opportunity to play with it. I couldn't pass it up, and I wanted to bring you guys along because I feel like this whole YouTube channel thing has allowed me to do a lot of experiences that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to or never will. So by saying yes to a lot more stuff, like, you know, driving some race cars the other day, even though that was totally like not my world, got super claustrophobic, whatever it may be. But I'm able to provide content for some of you guys that may not be able to get these opportunities. I'm trying my best to say yes to every opportunity that I get. That way I can bring you guys along with me. And hopefully by watching these videos, you guys feel like you're here with me. That's always been my goal, is that you guys feel like you're part of the crew. You're one of us. You're just standing, you know, right here with us, and you're involved in all the events that we are. So with that, we're gonna wrap up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please give the subscribe button now, that you do not miss out on any future content. And don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out workforitapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.